J9 here from GeekMyGames, and I am at gameconjunction in Louisville, Kentucky. And I came here today because I wanted to learn all about megagames, something I had never heard of before. This is Tony Dorighty from the Dukes of Highland, and he runs megagames here, and he is going to tell us a little bit about it. First of all, Tony, what is a megagame?
So I'm going to go through this list because it might make things a little easier, but it's generally like a mixture of board game, RPG. It's played by dozens, if not hundreds of players sometimes over several hours. So the players usually get unique roles. They're playing in small teams, so you always have someone to turn to when you're trying to work out what to do next. There is a bunch of social interaction. You're negotiating with people. You're betraying people. There's all kinds of miscommunication that happens because the games are so big. We have a bunch of GMs on hand to help players develop your own ideas as to what you want to do. So if there's something outside of the rules that you think would be great in the context of the game, you work with one of our great facilitators and they can help make that happen. And finally, it's all about the experience. Some people will say, how do you win a mega game? Well, I feel like you win the mega game when you can tell a great story at the end of it. And sometimes the best part of a mega game is when you go to the bar afterwards and you tell stories about what happened, because even as the lead control runner, I don't know half the stories that have happened until I go there and talk to them and they're like, oh, I did this and it was so great. And so mega games are all those things sort of smushed into one. In fact, there's one playing right behind me now. It's called Gods of the Ancient World.
So there's one right here.
It is the Romans and the Greeks meeting over the Mediterranean in about 300 BC. They are fighting for control. They are playing a war game on a war map. They have a senate where the senators are making decisions on behalf of their country. And then
Go ahead and show the table. Yeah. Go ahead and go in for a second. You can keep talking. That's fine.
There are also priests who pray to the gods, and then the folks on the stage are the gods, and it feels like sometimes they're randomly smiting and randomly blessing the players, the humans, the mortals, but the gods have their own whims, and so sometimes it's hard to know why they do what they do, but the gods can give the players signs to help the players decide which god gets their prayers in a given turn, and so there's lots of sort of miscommunication between the gods. The gods want them to fight one enemy and they've made the wrong decision, so they might get a lightning bolt the next turn. Who knows? It's the player's game.
Right. How did you come up with this idea? Like, where did you first hear about it? This is such an amazing idea, and I can't believe that I've never heard about it before.
So the evolution comes from war games originally. Players that were playing war games wanted to simulate the battlefield and not having all the information. So if you imagine that commanders never really get to see the front lines of a battle, so they stepped away from the board and had people behind the scenes relaying orders to their commanders who were moving the minis around. So imagine that scaled up. That evolved into a game that was released about 10 years ago. It's called Watch the Skies, and it is a simulation of the world's leaders, all dealing with international issues and domestic threats and those kind of things, when all of a sudden aliens appear over the skies. And so the aliens sort of have these unknown motives. They are the story drivers and possible antagonists. How do the humans react when the aliens appear?
That sounds like so much fun.
It's crazy, and it changes every game because one country might attack the aliens and one country might try to befriend the aliens. So again, it's this miscommunication. Who knows what the aliens are there for? You just have to play to find out. Now,
some of your games I hear have traitors in them as well. Is that correct?
Some do, yeah. Some disguise themselves as fully cooperative, but we do tell the players there is a possibility of traitors in the mix. So if you're familiar with Battlestar Galactica, there's a game that's heavily themed around that. It's called Den of Wolves. You are all fleeing for your lives from this overwhelming force and trying to survive. You're, sharing resources and trying to, fighting the wolves when they appear. But meanwhile, there might be some folks amongst you that are secretly working for the wolves, throwing, a wrench in the works, and you have to try and uncover who those are whilst trying to stay alive.
That sounds like so much fun. So I am a homeschooling mom, and some of my viewers like to have a lot of kids and like go to events and stuff. One of the first things that people always ask us is, how do your kids get socialized? Well, let me tell you, if they were to do something like this, they would have to be socialized. But maybe your kids aren't as outgoing as, say, me, You told me a little bit about like there's some different parts of the room in case you get like anxious. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
We always build in plenty of time for breaks. So if a game goes for 6 hours, it could be a little intimidating, but most of them, they're in turns, and there's always a time called team time where you can step away from the table, you hang out with your team, you can talk about what's happened, and just take a break. Like, we understand these can be quite stressful, there's a lot going on, and it's a chance for you just to step away from the game for a while. And if they are not for everyone, I will say that much. Some people just have extreme social anxiety and they cannot handle the chaos that happens, and so go find something else. This is a convention. Like, there's so much happening right now, so many great things to do, and but yeah, I would encourage everyone to try and make a game at least once. And I will say one more thing. Usually we say that you have to be 16 or older to play. It's more of a guideline because there's a lot of talking with adults, and so the kids have to be comfortable with that, and the adults have to be comfortable talking to the kids too. So
have you ever had anybody that was younger play?
Absolutely. My kids played last year. My son was 11 and my daughter was 16. They had a fantastic time, but we set expectations really clearly. We not just for my kids, but for the adults in the room too, to make sure that everyone was in the same wavelength, and please be careful with your language, and they really got into it. They had a fantastic time, and it just depends on the child, of course.
Right. And I think sometimes there's safety in numbers too. If you're not really sure about things and there's a lot of people, you can kind of be quiet and get lost in that until you find your jam or your people or your group, right? Yeah.
We had a team playing yesterday. It was 2 teams, and they were parents with children, and so when you've got this team and the parent is in charge of the team, they can help guide their children, and be as a facilitator. I made sure to get to know those kids and say, you're trading resources right now. There's some people you can trade with. I turned to the adults and I said, hey, you should go trade with these guys down here. They're a little nervous, and they were super accepted, and they had a great time.
So I was recently on SideQuest, which is a podcast that that's where I first heard about you. And they were talking, they had a guest on it recently that talked about an RPG for kids. And I kind of feel like if I had known about Megagames and some of these RPGs for kids, a great experience and a great family thing to do with lots of different age of people, I think would be a lot of fun, right? So the last question I have for you then is the gameconjunction, which is where we're at. I've never heard of this one either. Is this fairly new, or has this been around for a while, and why here?
Oh, what a great question. This is the first year we've done this. So we, the Dukes, have teamed up with Nerd Louisville. They are a local community building group here in town. Decided to create a convention because we're insane. It's been a huge amount of work this year, but we're expecting over 500 attendees, and it's been a passion project. We want to involve all the community. We want to bring Megagame to the community. There's RPGs, there's board games, and I think it's been a real success, and I'm really excited to see how the next 2 days go. Yeah.
I think it's going to be pretty amazing as well. And just real quick, where are some of the other states that are starting to have some of these mega games that you're seeing, in case somebody isn't close to Louisville, Kentucky, and wants to go to a mega game or check one out?
So our central hub is Gen Con in Indiana. Of course, most of your viewers should know Gen Con. But we put on 17 mega games at Gen Con this year. Not just us, but collaborating with other groups. But PAX Unplugged, there's a bunch there. There's a team up in Michigan that are running. There's 2 teams in Texas. There's 2 teams on the West Coast, one in Portland and one in California. But if you want to know the best place to find a mega game near you, there is a website called megagameassembly.com, and they have a global calendar of games. No matter what country you're in, you can find games there.
Great. Yeah. Great. Well, thank you so much for talking with GeekMyGames today, and I'm looking so forward to my mega game this evening. I am going to do, I think it's called Event Horizon, about a spaceship that was pushed out into the universe, and it just disappeared. Yep. Is what I'm guessing, right? And then all of a sudden it reappeared, and everybody has to go explore it, and it's like has no crew anymore, so we got to figure out what's going on, and it's like a global thing. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's like the space equivalent of the Mary Celeste, and it's actually based on the 90s movie with Sam Neill, that sort of sci-fi horror movie. So cool. There's no jump scares or anything like that, but it is a mystery to unravel. Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to it, and I have kind of a traitorous personality, sneaky, so I'm kind of looking forward to maybe stirring up some trouble tonight, but I'll try to get some footage of that for everybody out there too. So hopefully you enjoyed this, and thank you again for talking with us, Tony. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Nice having me.
All right, thank you.
So up here on the Event Horizon control, we have Brian and Owen and Virginia. And then out in the fleets, where I will be most of the time, we have John. Yeah. Joe.
So I am the commander of our ship, and we are a ship from an African fleet, and I have sent my second in command over to the UN to get updated and be the liaison and get us some information. All right, so all the different ships are preparing to dock. They're coming up one by one and showing where they're going to dock on the event horizon. We have no idea what's on the event horizon. We're not going to actually get on the ship. We're the medical ship. I have a doctor and a psychiatrist and a second in command, and I'm the commander. And we are there to help save as many lives as possible. I also have some personal goals, which I'll reveal later. But that's what we're doing right now. So we're talking to the UN right now, and they're saying maybe we can get on the event horizon.
This does not mean you cannot go in other sections. You are able to come in with your own life support. I advise caution.
So now I've got most of my crew on the event horizon. I've heard that it's not very dangerous, just a lot of people go crazy, so there must be some crazy things on there. But we really need those security servers to get back some information to help out the UN. In the meantime, I think I'm going to form some relations with China because they need to help us with our infrastructure, and so I am going to go talk to the Chinese.
Your other player's trapped.
Oh no! All right.
Alright, so then we gotta go to
So now we're fixing our power supply room, and the engineer from Russia came. No, this is the engineer from Blackwater, the AI, came to help us out. Now he's going to try and fix our air dock so we can get our other guy back.
we can make tons of stuff with duct tape.
Yep, all of our tools consist of duct tape. And the engineer is diligently working with duct tape. So we have fixed our ship with duct tape, and we have a survivor from the Event Horizon on board, and now we're getting information from our psychiatrist. What did you find out on board?
I did find out on board, I heard from the rumor that there will be a meteor shower. The Event Horizon has been hit, both engines have been hit, but any ship that's connected to the Event Horizon is also going to receive damage.
Well, we already had that happen. I don't know that we can do that again, but our primary concern...
And the only way to get unhooked from the Event Horizon is you have to convince the AI that you want to be disconnected. But the problem is we are the only two ships that are giving power to the Event Horizon right now. So we need somebody else to either take over that duty so we can release and back away from the Event Horizon.
Got it. So we need to find somebody else.
But I'm not sure
how to do that. Well, we've got a meteor shower right now, so we're already in danger of getting damage again. And we have somebody that's coming to us, another captain, for healing. So we have to take that into consideration. And you said that the last one, or all of those planets that we saw, had battle stations?
Yes. They're inhabited by sentient, intelligent life, and they have battle stations.
So that could mean...
We cannot visit those planets because that's where it was, and it came back. So there's a mechanic where you can get the ship to start to go back to there.
Okay. All right, so we can't visit those planets anyway. All right, so we're cooked. That's where we're at right now.
Go here? Well, I can't.
So now we're on the Event Horizon. We're up on the pedestal of the room. It's the ship that we're exploring.
So I'll have to check on my next
And we're trying to find items and people.
I'm going to go over here.
This represents the ship. And every time we go to somewhere new, we can flip it over and see what we find. I just got to turn on life support. Woo!
I'm unlocking that.
So, we are 2 hours into the game, and I have it just flew by. Like, I was starting to get tired when I walked in the room because it was toward the end of the day. We drove in the morning, and all of a sudden 2 hours later somebody's like, hey, it's 6 o'clock because it started at 4, and I was like, no way. There's no way that it's already 6 o'clock. It just flew by. We're having so much fun. So we ended on the event horizon, and we were trying to explore some rooms, and I got one of the life supports turned on, yay! But we did not get one of the survivors back that we wanted to. However, we do have a couple on our ship, and more people are coming to us to get healing because there's a lot of psychic damage going on, and we've got a psychiatrist and a doctor on our ship, and state-of-the-art medical terminology, or technology, I should say. And this mega game is just, it really is a lot of fun. And one of the things I have to do is work with China, and they really want stuff to trade. They just want stuff. And I don't really have a lot to trade with them, but I do need their backing because they are a big supporter of our economy for the Africa Union. And I'm really kind of worried about the planets with their battle stations and these electrical surges that keep destroying our ship that we are putting together with duct tape. However, that's kind of where we are right now, and we have a break for dinner, and I'm so excited to see how this is going to end.
Them to sleep, like you do that.
So we have some survivors that are unconscious that we're trying to heal.
Oh, that's
However, they might wake up crazy and try to kill one of us, so we got a security guy to come to our ship, and he told us we should lock them up.
The light of the stars intensifies briefly as the storms that have been around abate. But there is part of the sky that is blacked out, where there are no stars.
Oh crap.
It was not like that before.
We now have a new event.
It's just a pool of black where no light seems to escape.
So half of the stars are blocked out. We gotta worry about that too, as well as power surges and my ship falling apart.
You can put 2 of them in your stasis. Are we good to put 2 of them in stasis? You travel with me to our ship. We have a stasis chamber as well. We can put the other one in the stasis.
Okay. Do you want to?
So they want to put the people into stasis.
Because like we can take them on the I don't think they would want to go.
Okay, so that the lightning storm's gonna. Okay, you just said the lightning storm.
Wait a minute, but don't we want to heal them? Maybe they have information for us about what happened.
Yeah, the problem is we don't know. They might go crazy on us. They might try to.
Well, we're not going to know unless we wake them up. One of our goals on the sheet says we have to find out what happened to the ship. Does anybody know?
Okay, so you have 2 that are unconscious and one that right?
We see this too.
I think we should try and heal them and wake them up.
Well, we have one. We have one that's working.
Did anybody try and interrogate them or talk to them?
I guess that would be my job, wouldn't it?
Yes, you're the psychiatrist. Come on, do your job. So what they don't know at this point is that I'm trying to get some stuff from China, and I really need some leverage. Now, I have a 3D medical printer, but I don't really have anything to trade with them, and I asked the controller how I could upgrade my medical facilities, and he said that if I got some organic material and maybe an actual model of something that I could trade with them, like a body part that was 3D printed, that I could upgrade my facility. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm thinking that if I take one of these guys and they wake up and they're kind of like feral or they're brain dead, that I could harvest their brain as my organic material and use that for my 3D printer to maybe upgrade my facility. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few, right?
How are you controlling our ship?
How are these ones still connected?
They're flying away, but you're not. Go away. You're not controlling them right now.
AI is not letting us do what we want to do. We think AI has been corrupted. He's yelling at us now.
We need you to the bridge. You need to understand what
You've lost my trust. Leave.
this needs to be resolved.
Who knows what's going to happen? Apparently, we have a detonator, but we don't have explosives, which I thought we did.
Commander, are we breaking apart?
Oh, we already did. We're not there anymore. We've taken life support away from the ship. So we've left our dock. We are getting really close to the end of this, and everybody is starting to get frantic and doing crazy stuff. The Russians are threatening to ram the ship. I got another guy that wants to take out the back part, which is the engine of the Event Horizon. And I already left the air dock, which gave less power to the Event Horizon. And we've got less people up there, but we've told them all that they need to get off that ship. And they won't. So I guess we'll see what's gonna happen.
Me. But don't worry, I've got an escape.
There's an emergency cable to our ship.
I mean, I probably won't stop you if you emergency eject before it hits.
I mean, I wouldn't emergency eject after it hit.
My direct one is to save you human lives. If I can confirm that you're going to be alive,
I would emergency.
and then we aren't going to lose it into the automatic.
The guy with the red jacket is the Russian that must have rammed the ship. All of his crew has been corrupted by the black in the space because they were ship jumping and got into it. So he's pretty much like, I'm just going to take it all out because it's headed toward Earth, and it could be much worse if the Event Horizon gets to Earth. Uh-oh. What now?
Yeah, that's part of that's what does the most damage.
So the Russian just rammed the ship, but the AI is supposed to preserve life even though it's corrupted by darkness. And so it took him out, or tried to. So he's using his emergency cable to get out of the ship, but he still cleaves the back half of the Event Horizon and it catches fire. And of course there's still people on board, so pretty soon they're going to see that they're on fire and there's no way for them to get off. But it doesn't really look like they care. They're just sitting there like looking around and doing stuff. So I have no idea. So in that last hour, it was complete craziness. They had a clock that was a countdown clock, and it was telling us, like, ticking the minutes by, and I just didn't get a lot of footage because everybody was trying to do like their last ditch effort of trying to get all of the stuff that they wanted to do done. I never got my lab upgraded, but it's okay because, you know, I mean, nobody ever really saw me trying to do brain surgery on all the people that I was actually trying to rescue from the Event Horizon. So it's fine. Everybody had their own agendas, and I didn't even know what was going on the other side of the room. But at the very end, they had somebody from each table come up and talk about like what their agenda was and stuff, some of the stuff that was happening with them, kind of giving a brief overview. And I have a little bit of that after this. You'll see like the people that were corrupted by darkness almost from the beginning, the ones that would not get off the ship, and how they were trying to get us to like follow the darkness and bring it to Earth and corrupt everybody and join the cult. You'll see a little bit of the AI who was also corrupted by the darkness, but in a different way. So the UN had these directives that they were working on, and the AI was messing with those because of the corruption. But also one of his rules was that he was supposed to preserve human life. Well, once he kind of got corrupted by the darkness, he like crazily wouldn't listen to anybody or anything, and like would preserve human life to the very ends of the earth, literally, because we were trying to take out the ship because it had that corruption on it and we didn't want it to get to Earth, but AI would not let us no matter what. And I felt like he did a really good job too. Like he was just, I really didn't know. I thought that he was helping in the beginning, but little by little, the UN stopped trusting him and wouldn't tell him about their directives. And you could hear little bits and pieces of stuff going on. There were so many different subplots and storylines. It was just really a lot of fun. So at the end of this video, you're going to also see some footage on some interviews that I did during the break. I talked to some of the controllers, some of the people that were playing the game. I asked some people if they had done mega games before and kind of got their opinions and thoughts on them. And I think that's really interesting. So check that out at the end of the video. And also below, I have all the information of all the links that you've heard about in this video. The Dukes of Highland, Megagames, all that stuff is down below. So check it out if you want to get more information about any of this stuff. But I highly recommend you trying out a mega game. It was so much fun, and I'm really glad that I had this experience.
It went pretty fast in the beginning, but then everything happened in the end. I'd like to give everybody, like someone from each shift, a chance to come up and like tell the highlights of their stories.
Yeah, and I was like staring through with my hand on the glass, staring at him, and that's where we ended.
So for me, this all started when
water stole it from me. It's now mine again because I'm on board. But everyone should be grateful for everything I've done because I found the aliens. And I have 3 children who followed me home and taught me what we needed to do. 2 more of my family were on board this
So these ended up being the bad guys.
and the oneness we have found, I'm sharing with all of you. Join the commune. Join in one mind.
Oh boy.
As we return to Earth, all of us will be one.
I am. I do like that idea.
Alright, you have someone from this ship, I'm sorry, the Yukon, I don't know.
And 5 seconds before I was going to get finally checked by the UN, Control Holding Side changed one directive to propagate the dark presence on the ship effectively. So I started helping an awful lot of other people, but now the
This
UN
was the
knew everything.
AI.
And they stopped talking to me. And then I started trying to kill my beloved fleet personnel. I did apologize for kind of yelling you were a lot closer than I thought you were. And everybody, this whole time had been kind of like leaning towards me to hear, so I started like projecting, and I think I projected towards the parts.
Yeah, he was yelling, but it's okay.
I hope you all did too.
Good job, AI.
All the games are so different. Like this game compared to Gods of the Ancient World is super different. Like the themes and the mechanics, and the team setups.
Well, and Tony during his interview was kind of explaining, what the God one was, and I'm thinking to myself, well, in one of his previous interviews, he talked about somebody coming like the first round and going, well, I don't kill a God or whatever, and I'm like, okay, that's great, but if you knew the history of like the Greek gods and the Roman gods or whatever, I'm like, there technically was abilities or ways to kill a god, but you had to go through several steps. So it was interesting to see how he added that ability in. Now, of course, I don't think in the one you were talking about in the interview, they actually got to that point to do it, but it was still interesting to see that it can be modified and it's ever changing over phone.
So we were also talking about how we were surprised at how fast it went.
Yeah,
like that first 2 hours was like gone in 2
really,
seconds.
yeah.
We thought for sure it'd be dragging. Like I was already like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna be so tired by 9
nobody-
o'clock.
well,
And
nobody wanted to talk. Like,
right, yeah.
you
You get into RPGs where like nobody wants to talk.
or whatever.
But it was crazy. It's only been 2 hours. We're taking a break right now, and it's been like nonstop action.
It hasn't felt like 2 hours at all.
And there's always 50 things going on at once and people wanting to talk to me and then boards moving over here and then people saying, wait, your ship's falling apart. And no, you have to go save these people. And
Oh yeah,
I can't do it all at once.
Yeah, some controller comes by and says, oh yeah, by the way, there's a lightning storm and your ship is destroyed 3 different ways. I'm like, what?
I know. It's crazy. So, but it's a lot of fun.
It is.
It's a lot of fun. So, and how many years have you been doing this?
I think the first game that I was involved with was with Tony in 2021, maybe. It was the first game that they ran in Louisville was Watch the Skies. It's one of the classic mega games that anybody that's heard of mega games has probably heard of Watch the Skies. It's like world leaders on the planet with aliens.
That's the one that he was talking about, the British guys did,
Yes.
the YouTube video.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Shut up and sit down. Yeah.
Last 4 years I've been going to GeekMyGames there.
So how is it different being one of the control people compared to playing the game? Like, do you just want to like jump in all the time and be like, just do this?
It's like being a dungeon master for D&D. It's just as much fun to control as it is to play in the game, but it's like a different kind of like. There's always somebody that's got a crazy idea that they want to come up with, so you have to try and like branch off the rules a little bit so that it still kind of fits within the game, but accomplishes the thing that they want. So you're constantly moving and trying to come up with new ideas.
Right, and you want it to fit the narrative of what the story is.
And have fun. You want them to have fun.
Right. Yeah. Tony told us about a couple of crazy things that went on, but man, we're having a blast. All right, so Jane, I'm back. We are on a break right now. I'm just talking to some people that are part of this mega game, and we're having so much fun. And I just want to ask you guys, like, what are your experience? Like, have you done a lot of mega games? How did you first hear about it? Because this is all new to me. And what do you like most about it? You just want to go around the table? You want to start?
Gen Con has the most mega games. That's where we all kind of get together and know each other. But a lot of this stuff happens in isolation. I've been doing this my game is in its 10th year anniversary, so that means 10 years ago I first started this with my students.
Wow.
In Houston, Texas, or close to Houston, Texas.
I hear there's a lot of mega gaming in Texas, so.
Yeah, and Austin has a good group right now, so.
And your game is.
That's right. Mega games are more mega in Texas.
More mega. Well, Texas is kind of mega.
Yeah.
So, and your game is called Alliance?
That's right.
I'll have to look into that one.
This is my first year as well, first time to play Mega Games, and it's all been at this convention. I think my favorite part has been really the people controlling the games and this kind of like yes and attitude where the players can kind of talk to the controllers and then say, can I do this, or how can we do this, or what are the rules? And every time they've been so flexible to say, if you want to do something cool, let's figure out how we can do that mechanically. So that has just been awesome to kind of get to
I love
really
that too.
Cooperatively, tell these awesome
like almost like we're all building the game as we go.
Yeah,
like, no matter what.
The game this morning, the kind of pantheon of the gods. There was a character who was the daughter of Zeus, and so she got to be this Joan of Arc character and kind of have a person on this.
She led the army to a loss.
And it was all just scripted.
And a lot of it was my idea, so I feel like a kingmaker, even though I didn't really claim that publicly.
It was very cool.
Right. I'll add, like everything he said, totally correct. One of the best things about Mega Games as well is afterwards, when some people go to the bar and sit around and talk, you hear about a dozen stories of things that happened at that end of the room or with those people over there that you had no idea was going on. You had no idea a cult was forming over there and that these people were starting a coup, and like all of these things happened that you get to learn about and then piece together how that actually did tie in with this.
Yeah, I asked Tony about if anybody was going to the bar tonight, but apparently everybody's going to the D&D show, so I decided to sign up for that. But I'm kind of sad I missed last night.
You can probably get some drinks and come here.
So
Why don't you bring a drink down there?
The show's only an hour.
But sometimes the after party of just like sharing of the narratives casually is actually as much fun or more fun than the actual mega game itself.
Yeah, it's at least half of the mega game is the drinking and talking afterwards.
You kind of just lived that kind of scenario or world, and you're sharing. Yeah, you're like, I did this.
It's like the positive version of trauma bonding.
Well, I'm excited for that, and we're going to see the show tonight too. So, all right, what about you?
I've been controlling this game on the Event Horizon. I've been doing my games for I think 2 years now. I love it. It's a great time. Just get to meet a bunch of other people who are creative and interested in basically the same things I'm interested in, which are playing mega games, which is sort of very niche. Yeah. I feel like
it is, but I hope eventually it isn't.
It seems like it's very niche, but then you meet people who are just joining, and you're like, yeah, this is great. Where has this been all my life?
It feels like more people need to know about it because they like everybody that's tried this are, this is my first one. This is amazing. Why? I don't know why we haven't gotten more out.
I'm sure there are people who come back and are like, I don't want to do this again and leave.
And everybody I've talked to that has done more than one, like are here the whole weekend, or just doing one mega game after another. Like, oh yeah, I did last night, so I did this morning. So I was like,
I only signed up for mega games the entire convention.
Really?
That's all I signed up for.
To do when you came in.
Yeah, I had I thought about doing like some RPGs this morning or walking around the hall and playing some board games. But then after last night, after playing that first mega game, I did the same thing. I said, well, whatever, I'll just make the whole convention.
And then that was Touched by Darkness.
Touched by Darkness,
yeah. All right, what about you?
This morning was my first ever mega game with the gods, and it was a ton of fun. It was great. They're really good here, especially about, hey, are you new to this? Here's a whole bunch of rules and control. You guys are really good about walking through everyone, but this is how this goes. And then like you said, it's kind of a yes and keep carrying it forward. It reminds me of if you ever play big role-playing games on like online or something like that. It's very similar, but you're actually here doing stuff. So there's little boards, and that's what I didn't understand. There's a board. You're doing things on a board. You're also talking to people. You're also managing resources. So you take like 4 board games, mash them into one. You kind of come up.
I know, it's really hard to explain, right?
I wasn't full costume this morning. I had a toga on and everything.
Oh, were you?
Oh, yeah.
That's awesome.
And you're doing it better than the veterans.
I hear a lot of people dress up for the different...
It's fun. Yeah, you know what? You like. I decided finally yesterday that I was going to come today. Period to this at all. I was like, what do I have in my closet? I dressed up as Zeus one year, didn't I? And I'm like, oh, I have an old tablecloth. Let me put that. Oh, I got my robe thing. Oh, that's it. I was like, no, this is perfect. I'll make it work.
So you walked in and you're like, I want to be a god.
Yeah, like I'm
right.
Gonna do this.
Make me a Greek god,
I'm
right?
Kill a god, which we killed 2 gods. Well, we killed demigod and a god. So
nice.
There you go.
Yeah. Should we explain a little more like what a mega game event is? Because typically
sure.
It's like 6 hours or 4 hours, something like that, and then it's a lot of tabletop RPG at scale, but a one-time event. You know what I mean? So it's like a tabletop RPG, but it's really not. It's opposite in that it's like it all happens at one event. It's not an ongoing.
It's really hard to explain. I've been a board gamer for most of my life, and I mean, I understand role-playing games and I understand board games, but to mix them, I was kind of like, what? How do you do that?
A LARP element if you costume well.
Yeah. There's a LARP element as well.
Look at the commander of Naples. Okay, well I can still make it work.
Yeah, well, and there's like a huge improv element as well because half of these games devolve into nothing in the rules says you can do this, but nothing in the rules says you can't.
Exactly.
So right.
Well, and then there's like some of the even this cooperative one we're in right now. There's schemes and subplots. Every ship, every faction has their own hidden
agenda. Right.
Agenda. We're trying to get this done. We're trying to get this done. We don't want this to happen. So
right.
It's really cool.
Yeah, I love that too. So thanks so much for talking to me, guys.